Today's going to be an awesome day. I have Joe with Bubblehead RV coming to join me, and we are going to change my AGM batteries out to lithium. I am so excited that this is going to happen. Oh, and there's handles. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, look how nice and fresh. Hey everybody, it's Deb from Deb's RV Services, and welcome to today's video. I'm super excited because I finally upgraded my system to lithium. And today I'm going to share with you what I went through. I'm going to explain lithium. I'm going to explain battery bank. I'm going to explain solar in a way that you can understand it. I contacted my friend Joe from Bubblehead RV. He is a certified tech and he specializes in solar installs. He came out so that he could go ahead and upgrade my system for me. I got all the footage of it for you, and I'm also going to explain it to you while we're going through it. So first, let me tell you why I upgraded to lithium. So I had an AGM battery. I had two 6-volt AGM batteries, and they lasted me for the last several years. They've been completely fine, but it was really a low amperage system. I think I got like 100 amps in my battery. That was all I had. So I could deplete my battery pretty quick. Plus, you can only go down 50% with these type of batteries. With lithium, the great thing about it is that you can go ahead and deplete more than 50%. You can go all the way down with lithium and you don't harm the battery. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to upgrade. The second reason I wanted to upgrade is I also wanted to have just more amp hours available. And that would enable me to put one battery inside of my RV versus trying to put enough batteries that were AGM that needed to be vented on the outside. I didn't have the room for that. And well, lithium's just, it's much more efficient. It's lightweight. You can have it on the interior. There's just a whole lot of reasons to go lithium. They are more expensive, but I did find a company that is, I'm not sponsored by. I'm only talking about this battery because it was something that Joe from Bubblehead had mentioned to me that I might want to check it out. He's not sponsored either. EcoWorthy has a battery, and it is a ginormous battery, and it was still heavy even though it was lithium because it has 260 amp hours. So it's one big ginormous battery, and that was perfect for me because I could put it inside my underneath my dinette. It would fit perfectly in that space next to my inverter, and it was like a win-win. And I could finally get rid of having the AGM batteries. The only thing that was a issue for me was the fact that my converter is only set for regular lead acid and AGM batteries. This is where I want to get into a little bit of detail in explaining to you the difference of the two batteries, the difference of the converter, and just how the energy works. Let's start off by saying lithium has a charge capacity up to around like 14.5, 14.7 volts. Regular AGM and lead acid are like a 12.8, 12.7, but with the converter, which is what comes from your shore power and takes the battery, converts the 120 shore power into 12 volt, okay? That's the job of the converter. So with that, you're gonna get like 13.6, 13.5 volts. When you switch over to lithium, that 13.5, 13.6 needs to be able to convert up to the 14.6. And it can't on all RVs. Mine is an older RV, and it has one of the older converters. So if you are going to do lithium upgrade, you need to see if your converter has a switch on it where it says, I accept lithium or AGM or lead acid. So the lead acid and AGM are going to be the same volts, but the lithium is the different one. So if your converter, like mine, doesn't accept it, you have two choices. You can either upgrade your converter, which is going to cost you the converter and the hours that it takes, the wiring and everything, or you can just get a battery charger that sets alone. If you have solar, your solar is going to charge up your battery. So the solar has to go through a charge controller. You have solar and you have a charge controller. The charge controller makes sure that you don't have too much coming in to your battery. So it controls the amount, okay? It controls the amount. That then goes to your battery and charges it, okay? So you have that method of charging it. The other method of charging it is through shore power. And that's where the converter comes in too, because it's taking 120 from shore and it's going through your converter to then make it 12 volt. When it does that, it takes your 12 volt and it'll say, okay, well, it actually has like 13 point, because it's adding that extra coming from the converter. It will show you 13 point something volts. Okay. If you were to take it off of shore power, your battery would go down to that 12.7 range. But with the converter, it goes up to the 13 point something. With lithium, it needs to be able to go up to 14 point something. If your converter doesn't have that ability, then it's not going to work correctly for the lithium battery. You need to actually have that converter that allows it to get up to that so that it can get 100% charged. I have a charge controller that's separate, so it's separated from the converter. So what I did in mine is I actually just turned off the converter. Converter part just got turned off at the breaker panel. So I'm not using the converter anymore. I can do that because I have a method of charging my battery directly, which is my battery charger for lithium. Okay, so you are going to...
So we're going to shut off the battery at this disconnect.
Okay.
And you can see these thick, probably these are maybe 1/0 cables, but those, no, they're 4/0. So that's coming directly from the battery. You got your shut off. It goes through your shunt and then into your inverter. And that's how you get your AC power from the batteries when you're boondocking. So we're gonna take off the load before we disconnect outside. So we'll basically shut off the battery supply to the coach. Yes. All right. So I always take negative off first and put negative on last.
Yep, get rid of the negative energy. Yep. That's what I always tell myself.
We're gonna hook it all up.
Yeah. Yay. The unboxing of the EcoWorthy. It's EcoWorthy, right? Worthy?
EcoWorthy, yeah.
Worthy, yeah.
Heard a lot of great things about them. Seen a lot of good testing and whatnot done with them.
The prices.
And the price is incredible comparatively to like Battleborn. And I'm not saying anything against Battleborn. They're a top-notch company. They've been in the industry. They basically brought lithium, in my opinion, to the forefront of RVers. They just do such a great job. So, and they're not paying me to say that.
Right. There's no sponsorship going on here.
Just being honest.
Yep.
There's that.
Oh, and there's handles. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Look how nice and fresh.
280 amp hours.
Sweet.
That is some serious power. Right?
That is awesome. I'm so excited. I could boondock forever.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not forever, but definitely. So we're going to put this on that side. So what we'll end up doing is cutting back a whole lot of that cable, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need my help?
Nope.
Okay.
Not until I fold. We are going to decide the best way. Which is that way.
Oh my gosh, it's like a perfect fit.
Yeah. There's a little room there. All right. Perfect.
That looks great.
Yeah. It's a big boy. And I'm glad we're not going to have to adjust anything with that.
Right.
Now the charger that you
Which is
got,
right here.
so that'll be, might be able to install it right here so you can see it.
Oh, I'd like that.
Depending on its, because this is pretty thin.
So that takes place of having, so it's always been like a confusing thing about having to take the converter and prep it for lithium.
So yeah, so some converters, WIFCO is one that makes it. I want to say Progressive Industries is another. They make converters that either have a dip switch setting, or WIFCO has an auto sense. Somehow it knows that that is a lithium battery versus a lead acid versus an AGM. So it changes its charge cycle based on that. EcoWorthy has its own charger that just basically gets plugged into an outlet. So that'd be one thing we've got to either install or find, is an outlet in here. And then it charges, and I believe it has a display on here for you to see as well. So we got to do a little investigation on
Okay. Okay.
So this guy, yeah, see the face of it?
Oh, yeah.
So it shows you smart battery. Will tell you what you're basically.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So we will see if we can mount that. So that'll go right on there. It'll clip into there.
Okay.
On that, because they don't give you a lot. I mean, we could, if we needed longer cabling, we can splice into this and extend it as far as we need. Yeah, because that's going to be basically, this is going to be plugged into here, like that.
Okay.
So that's going to be your distance, which is plenty. We'll just have to see. And then we got to have a plug-in. You can run an extension cord, because I mean that's easy day. So we can run an extension cord in here.
Yeah.
And go plug into that other outlet. Let's say you're out in quartzsite, not plugged in anywhere, and you're running this. This is powering your AC power, which is coming into your AC side of your fuse panel over here.
Yes.
That converter is getting power from there, and then going and charging the battery. But where is your power coming from? That battery.
Yes.
So the battery is getting inverted to charge to do it's
the loop. It's doing that loop
again.
Right.
So if you were boondocking, you should have been turning that converter off when you're running your batteries only.
Right, and I wasn't.
Right. So that was part of your draw on your batteries. Make sure there's no daylight.
No daylight.
No daylight.
All right, and now it's nice and crimped.
Nice and crimped. Now we take the heat gun, plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. Yep, so what we're doing is hooking up our charging directly to the battery, and that way we're on the negative side. I've got the I'm hooking in this, I think that's called an Anderson connector is what the name of them are.
Okay.
It's really durable. It's good for external use, but this is good. It basically, there's these raised ends and on the back side of them, so it's like you're going over a hill and it grabs on the back side, so you got to really work to get those off.
Okay.
So it's a good connector. But yeah, we're hooking in these. We've got the jumpers made, and they're sitting outside, so we got to go hook those into, oh, I'm listening. Anytime I talk, I do the wrong thing. So we got to hook the jumpers into the external bus bars,
Okay.
which is where your battery was supplying power directly to some loads outside, so we didn't mess with that. So we built some jumper cables that are coming from here, but we did put the one jumper on the to where you could isolate it. Before it wasn't isolatable, if that's a word. Isolatable. Battery voltage. Yep, 13.3.
Yay!
Right there. That Anderson connector up, plug that in, and then you'll be charging your battery.
Yes. Moving the battery was so much fun because it was like the unboxing of it. And Joe got this thing in there. This job was easy for him. All he had to do was make the proper connections. He had to get the proper gauged wires. Joe proceeded to install the battery. I did have all this. I did have him hooked up to a microphone, but unfortunately the microphone didn't work because the receiver part was actually muted. I didn't know that until I just started when I was editing this video, and I realized that all of it was not captured. So basically what he did was he just made sure he had the correct wiring. He got rid of the old batteries. He installed the new battery. It fit perfectly in the spot. And we tested all the systems. He is a great tech for solar. So if you are in the area of where he's located, so he's located in Michigan in the summer, and he's in Arizona in the winter, he's a great technician to get for your solar install. He does other tech work too, basically everything except black tank. So if you're interested in a solar install, I think it would be great to contact Joe from Bubblehead RV. He's an awesome technician, and I'm really pleased. I'm going to let you know later on how I like the EcoWorthy. Even though I'm not sponsored by them, I'm still kind of testing it out because I know as my channel grows, I will get people that want to sponsor me, different batteries and stuff like that. So I'm going to see how long this lasts. I think the only thing, when I did some research on this, I watched a video by Will Prowse, and I'm just going to leave you with some of these tips that he recommended, and you can also watch the video and I'll link it. But he did talk about the EcoWorthy that he tested out, and he said there's no overcharge limit, so there's not a high turnoff. So some of the really good battery companies will have an automatic shut off if there's too much charge that goes into the battery. So like you have your solar and you have that charge controller, that is a method of not allowing too much charge to go into your battery, but the battery itself doesn't have one. The other thing is, make sure you charge your battery up to 100%. It helps with the balancing of the battery. So when I first got my battery, I allowed it to charge all the way to 100% so it could balance the battery cells. 70 degrees is the best temperature for your batteries. When you go at a higher temperature or too low, it creates the rate of discharge. It becomes a lot higher, so you end up discharging that battery quicker than you normally would. So those are some really good points. You know, I really love that I've got this so far so good, but I've only been hooked up to shore power. I'm gonna get back to you and let you know how things go when I am no longer hooked up to shore power and I'm actually boondocking, which will happen relatively soon, hopefully. Thank you for watching today's video. Let me know how you liked it. I like to throw in different videos every now and then to give you some maybe more educational material instead of just inspections. So leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.